Bustin' for a fucking
Good evening, everyone, and once again, welcome back to the Barry Maximoff channel. I'm the one and only Wizard Pizza, and today what I've got for you lot is a little guide to finding your way around the map Die Maschine or Die Machine, depending on how you want to pronounce it, even though Die Maschine is the correct pronunciation. I know that some of my friends are still a bit foggy with the layout of the map, as it can be slightly twisty and turny when you're new to it. Therefore, I've concocted this little number to aid you in your quest against the hordes of the undead. So without further hesitation, let's get straight into the guide. So when you spawn in, you will start off in the yard, or what most people would call the starting area. There are two routes you can take from here, which will get you to the power room, and I'll be showing you both of them. I'm going to start off with the route that I take to get to the tunnel, then show you the other route. After that, I will be proceeding into the facility to show you both the routes in there. So we are going to start off with the door to the right of the workbench, and this will cost you 750 points. Or essence, as it's referred to in this game. But I'm a sucker for tradition, so I'm going to stick with points. This will lead you into the Omega outpost. Next, we will clear the obstruction on the staircase at the top left corner of the room as you enter, which is going to cost you 1,000 points. This will take you up to the bedroom, which is where you can find the stamina perk, which is my favourite perk. Straight opposite the perk machine, there is the next obstruction you want to clear, which will cost you 1,250 points. Going through the new opening, you'll find yourself at the crash site, more commonly known as the plane wing, and this is where you can find Juggernog. Continue to walk, keeping Juggernog on your right. You will see another obstruction that you can clear at a cost of 1,500 points. So get that cleared and you will find yourself in the tunnel. Walking towards the facility doors will cause them to automatically open for you, costing you absolutely nothing. So that's nice. Okay, now for the next route you can take. Back at the yard there is another door on the far left of the building. Opening this will cost you 750 points, leading you into the living room. Then, round to the right hand side of the door there is another staircase obstruction costing you 1,000 points. Getting rid of that will lead you up to the mezzanine. Straight after the staircase there is another obstruction on the wall that is clearly visible with a red X, just like all the other obstructions. This one will cost you 1,250 points and will take you out to the pond where you can find Quick Revive. At the back of the pond is your next obstruction, which is going to cost you 1,500 points, leading you into the tunnel again. So both routes will cost you the exact same amount of points. But I only take the route on the right because it goes straight through Juggernog and Stamina, but it's entirely up to you which route you want to take. Now that we've got everything opened above ground, let's move back down to the tunnel where, again, I will be starting off with the route on the right. So, walking into the facility, you will find yourself in the control room, where the trial machine can be found right at the end of the corridor. Clearing the obstruction on the right will cost you 1,750 points. Leading you into the weapons lab where Deadshot can be found underneath the hanging bomb. Just across the room is the next obstruction, costing you again 1,750 points, leading you into the particle accelerator. Following the walkway round on the right and up the little set of stairs is where the power room can be found, which is going to cost you a massive 2,000 points. Now let's move on to the second route underground. Entering the control room again, you want to take a left and clear the obstruction, costing you 1,750, which will lead your bum into hell. Which will lead you into the med bay, which is where Speedkyler is located. This room also has a huge significance during the Easter egg because of the contamination chamber hanging from the ceiling. Also, the massive difference between the route on the left and the route on the right is that the route on the left has one less door to open, so you will be saving yourself an extra 1,750 points. Continuing through the particle accelerator on the left, and again up the little set of stairs will bring you to the power room, again costing you a grand total of 2,000 points. I should mention here that there is another obstruction that you can clear at the penthouse. The penthouse is accessible via a pile of rubble next to the obstruction that led to the pond, and over on the left before you drop down back into the living room. Up in the penthouse is where the Wonder Fizz can spawn. Right at the end, under the sheeted roof, is where you can clear the obstruction, costing you 1,250 points. Dropping off of this ledge will take you back to the crash site. Turning on the power will then clear 2 blocked paths. One can be found just behind the power button leading you back up to the yard, and one in between the pond and the crash site. Also, 2 doors will be opened in the Knacked building, one linking the Omega outpost and the living room, and one linking the bedroom and the mezzanine together. So that's everything open, but there is one more thing that I should mention, and that is the fast travel portals dotted across the map. During the early rounds, these are only accessible while in the Dark Ether, but later on they are open all the time. The first one can be found in the pond area just after leaving the tunnel underneath the floating truck. Going through this portal will drop you down into the weapons lab. Another portal can be found in the crash site just underneath where the plane nose is. Taking this will drop you down into the med bay, which is where my Pack-a-Punch piece spawned in. The last portal can be located in the particle accelerator room behind the Pack-a-Punch machine, where the 2 staircases meet from the med bay and the med lab. Behind the Pack-a-Punch machine, where the 2 staircases meet from the med bay and the weapons lab. Taking this will bring you up to the living room and Knacked. Every one of these portals is accessible from both ways as long as you have the locations open and available for use. The weapons lab and med bay portals will only be available to you once you've used both of the corresponding portals above ground. So that has been my guide to getting you through the entire map. I can only hope that this has helped you in some way. If so, you're welcome. Keep an eye out for future content and guides from me as the days goes on. Take care, folks, and thank you for tuning in.